Hey everyone, welcome back. We always like to go deep on topics you guys are really into, and today's no different.
Yeah.
We're diving into the world of packaging,
Okay.
but not just any packaging. We're talking about the stuff that keeps products safe and sound, and how it can actually be good for the planet too.
Sounds pretty interesting.
Right. So we're going to focus on a company that's really shaken things up in the industry.
Okay.
They're called Complete Converting, and they're doing some really cool things with protective packaging.
Complete converting.
Yep, they're all about creating custom solutions for every product, and they're using some wild materials.
Like what?
Think biodegradable packaging made from mushrooms.
No way.
Yeah, stuff that can actually decompose in your backyard. We'll get into all that, but first, I think we need to start with the basics for anyone who's not a packaging expert.
Good idea.
Can you give us a quick breakdown of what protective packaging actually is?
So protective packaging is basically everything that goes into protecting a product from the moment it's made until it reaches the customer.
Okay.
It's the boxes, the inserts, the cushioning material, all of that.
Got it.
And it's super important for a lot of reasons. It prevents damage during manufacturing, it makes sure things are handled properly in warehouses, and it keeps products safe while they're being shipped.
So it's like a product suit of armor, basically.
Exactly. It's there to make sure nothing gets broken or damaged along the way.
And that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm always bummed when I order something online and it arrives all banged up.
Yeah, no one wants that.
Now let's talk about Complete Converting's approach. They're not just throwing any old packaging at a product. They're doing something a lot more thoughtful. Right?
Yeah, for sure. They've really moved away from that old one-size-fits-all idea.
Which never really works, does it?
Not really. You end up with a lot of wasted space and material.
Yeah, and products that aren't protected as well as they could be.
Exactly. Complete Converting recognized this, and they realized that every product is different and has its own unique needs. So they focus on tailoring their packaging solutions to fit those specific requirements.
So it's all about customization.
Pretty much. They take into account the product's size, its weight, how fragile it is, where it's being shipped, all sorts of factors.
Wow, that's impressive.
And then they design a packaging solution that's specifically designed to protect that product in the most efficient way possible.
And that brings us to the materials they're using,
Right.
which is where things get really interesting.
Right.
I mean, biodegradable and reusable packaging options, it sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It does, but it's becoming more and more common.
Huh.
So biodegradable materials are designed to break down naturally over time.
So they don't just sit in a landfill forever.
Exactly. Instead of lasting for hundreds of years like some traditional plastics, these materials decompose into harmless substances.
That's amazing. How does that even work?
Well, there are different types of biodegradable materials. Some are made from plant-based starches like cornstarch, while others are made from things like mushroom roots.
Mushroom root.
Yep. They actually use the network of fibers that mushrooms use to grow and transform that into a packaging material.
Wow. So it's like using nature's own packaging.
Exactly. And the best part is, these materials can decompose in just a matter of weeks in the right conditions.
So you could literally throw it in your compost bin and it would just disappear.
Pretty much. Imagine that no more bulky packaging taking up space in your recycling bin or ending
Wow.
up in a landfill.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, now what about reusable packaging? What's the deal with that?
Reusable packaging is all about creating a circular economy.
Okay.
Instead of using packaging once and then throwing it away, the idea is to design it to be used multiple times.
Let's look at closed loop.
Exactly. So the packaging circulates through the system and eventually gets returned and reused for another shipment.
That's a pretty brilliant concept.
It is. It reduces waste, saves resources, and lowers costs in the long run.
So it's good for the environment and good for business.
Exactly. And I think it's something we're going to see a lot more of in the future.
It definitely makes sense. Now, I know you have some pretty cool examples of how Complete Converting solutions are actually outperforming traditional packaging in real-world scenarios.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Can you share some of those with us?
Okay, so one of the big things they focused on is reducing damage rates during shipping.
Okay, that's a big one.
Yeah, I mean, you spend all this time and effort getting a product ready, and then it gets damaged in transit.
That's a nightmare.
It is. So Complete Converting has really honed in on creating custom designs that fit products perfectly.
So everything is snug and secure.
Yep, they make sure there's no room for things to move around and get jostled during shipping.
Smart.
And by using the right materials and cushioning techniques, they've been able to significantly reduce damage rates for their clients.
And I'm guessing that leads to happier customers.
Definitely.
Right.
And fewer returns, which is a win for everyone.
Totally. And what about the environmental impact? Have you seen any positive results there?
Absolutely. Switching from traditional packaging materials to biodegradable options has made a huge difference.
In what way?
Well, they've seen significant reductions in waste, which is a major win for the environment.
Okay.
And they're constantly exploring new and innovative materials that are even more sustainable.
So it sounds like they're really committed to making a positive impact.
They are. They're constantly innovating and looking for ways to improve both their products and their processes.
That's great to hear. And, all of this brings us back to the bigger picture of sustainability, which is something that's becoming increasingly important to consumers these days.
Yeah, for sure.
People want to know that the products they're buying are coming from companies that care about the environment.
Definitely.
And Complete Converting seems to be right on board with that.
They are. They're proving that you can have both effective product protection and a commitment to sustainability.
That's awesome. Now, I'm curious about the customization process. How do they actually figure out the perfect packaging for each product?
It's pretty cool, actually. They have a proprietary algorithm that they use.
Like some secret formula?
Sort of. They've taken all their years of experience and combined it with cutting-edge technology.
Okay.
So this algorithm analyzes a whole bunch of factors: the product's dimensions, its weight, how fragile it is, the shipping conditions it'll be exposed to.
Wow, that's impressive.
And then it spits out a custom packaging design that's specifically tailored for that product.
So it takes the guesswork out of it.
Yep, it ensures that every product gets the exact protection it needs without any waste.
That's incredible. All right, so what's the takeaway for our listeners today?
I think the big takeaway is that Complete Converting is a company to watch.
Definitely.
They're pushing the boundaries of what's possible in the world of protective packaging.
And they're showing that sustainability and product protection can go hand in hand.
Exactly. They're leading the way, and I think their approach is going to have a big impact on the industry as a whole.
I think you're right. Now, here's a final thought for our listeners to chew on. Could this type of innovative thinking spill over into other industries? Could we see similar advancements in food packaging, for example,
Oh, absolutely.
or even clothing?
I don't see why not.
I mean, the possibilities are pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
They are. We're just starting to scratch the surface of what's possible with sustainable packaging solutions.
I can't wait to see what the future holds. Thanks for joining us today on this deep dive into the world of innovative packaging. We hope you found it as fascinating as we did.
Thanks for having me.
And be sure to check back soon for another deep dive into a topic you care about.
See you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.